Hey friends, Sandra here, and welcome to my channel Starsinpalm. And basically, I'm doing another Project Life spread, and I know it's been a while, you guys, but I recently moved, so I had to reorganize all my craft stuff, and I'm still in the process of doing that, so I don't even know where some of my stuff is, but I wanted to get this up for you guys so you could see the awesome other half of the spread that I did using the Creative Retreat kit that I really enjoyed doing, and I really love the colors, and it was like my birthday spread, and sadly Sandra.Palooza is over, so I'm reminiscing by watching this over again. I already knew I had a basic idea of the color scheme I already wanted to use. I kind of just decided on the fly what cards I wanted to use, but I figured I would use some of the cards from that Heidi Swap kit that I had in my stash. And as always, I will link in the description box below the Creative Retreat kit that I'm using, as well as all the items that are in my stash that I'm using as well to add on to my spread. And I really liked the way that little bit of ephemera looked, that little tag thing, and that is actually from the Creative Retreat kit this month, and it kind of went perfect, so I was really happy, and then I just used my tiny attacher to attach that. And that little label is also from this month's kit, and I really liked the little sunglasses on it. I thought that was super cute. Sorry, I can't talk to you guys. I'm all like jumbled today, but I had all those other things in my stash, the Chill Out Diamond and that little circle, which I just punched out of that same yellow paper that I've been using from one of the American Crafts 6x6 pads that I had. I just used my 1-inch punch for that. And then I'm just using a Zot glue dot from Thermoweb to glue that down because I wanted to have some dimension to it, but I don't want to use foam tape because you'd be able to see it from behind that little diamond since it's kind of like transparency. And then I'm just adding just a little bit of journaling using my little American Crafts Slick Writer because at that moment I really couldn't find my Sharpie pen that I'm always using that you guys know I always use. So like I said, I'm getting everything in its place again and it's really annoying. And then I'm just gluing those down and I'm using my Tombow adhesive, which you guys know I love as well. It's like well, that adhesive is from Tombow, but I use two different ones, which I also have linked in the description box because they're like my favorite ones. And those glitter hearts are from the kit this month as well. They're super cute, and I believe they're made by Studio Calico, and I just love them. I could have packs of those, honestly. And then I have those enamel dot packs, which is just for my own stash, and I'm just adding them kind of randomly. And I actually will come back to this card and add one other thing, because I end up looking at it and wanting to add one more thing to it, but you guys will see that on video. Most of this video came out really good. Just at the end, there's one part that you will not see, but I will make sure to point that out to you guys, because for some reason the file like deleted itself or something off my memory card, unfortunately. For this card, I'm also adding more yellow. As you guys saw, I did that to the last card on Project Life that I did because I just felt like the yellow needed to be stronger. Now, when you do watercoloring on a card, it kind of slightly warps it because those Project Life cards that come in the large kits are kind of like flimsy and they're not as thick as cards you get in kits and stuff. But I still add watercoloring to them because as long as you don't do anything too crazy, they still come out pretty nice. And that tag is also from the kit this month as well. And I'm sorry if you guys hear anything in the background. I've been trying to do this voiceover for a while without having a bunch of like sound and stuff in the background, but you know, it's kind of like a mission. And I also stapled down that little string that's on it because I just really liked it, the way it looked stapled like that, and I didn't want it kind of like hanging around everywhere. And then I was originally going to add that like with those foam dots, but or foam squares, I felt like it was too high, which is why I tend to use the foam roll more than actual tape, and I end up switching that out, just so you guys know, because I don't remember if I actually showed that on camera, but I do end up switching that out. And then I have these little vellum circles that I die cut out of a vellum stack that I have, and I know you guys always ask me where I get my vellum, and generally I order it online, I believe from Amazon, so I will try to link that if I can. They also have some really cute sheets from other stores that I order on, like when certain companies come out with like specific sheets and stuff. I usually always try to order doubles because I love to use that stuff, as you guys know. Those little diamonds that you see me putting throughout this page are from this month's kit as well, and I'm in love with those. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with any sort of geometric shapes, diamonds, hexagons, anything. So when I saw those in the kit, I was like ecstatic. I was just so happy. So I'm basically going to be using those throughout this layout, and I really love the way those look. I'm also adding some journaling to this. I was so happy because they put happy birthday on my Starbucks card, and I thought that was not my card, the cup. I thought that was so super cute. So I was like, okay, I have to take a picture of this because that's the first time that's happened. And if you have one of those Starbucks rewards cards that they have in there, which means you probably drink way too much coffee like me, you get a free coffee on your birthday, which I thought was pretty freaking sweet. So I was like, yes, and then I was like cracked out for the rest of the day on coffee. But it was pretty awesome. I basically went to all my favorite places on my birthday. I'm actually creating a card for this one because I wanted a card that had black and white that matched the card I used on my last layout that I did that you guys saw, but I didn't have one in my stash, so I was like, you know, I'm just going to make my own. So I used a pen just to make those little marks to kind of create the look I was going for, which is kind of like little tiny teeny squares, and then I pulled out my diamond punch, which I will try to link below too if you guys want to get one, because I would. I just freaking love that punch. I'm obsessed now with making all sorts of diamonds, and I knew I wanted to make a diamond for this card. So I played with the idea of doing a messy watercolor one, and then I did another one, and I actually ended up using the other one, but I do like the way this one came out. It just didn't look right with the spread itself, so I figured I would save that and probably use it on another spread. But it was just really fun to kind of just play with this. And part of the reason I love making things on camera is I know that I have a lot of international subscribers as well, who a lot of times say they cannot get a hold of some of the things that I use, or project life items in general are harder to get a hold of. And so it really just shows that you can really make a lot of your own stuff if you just kind of are able to at least get some basic things like punches or a set of watercolors, you know, and you, even if you didn't have a punch, you could cut your own diamond out. You could just use a pencil first and sketch it out. So there's lots of ways you can do things if you just kind of think outside the box. When I first started Project Life, this is something I did a lot because I didn't have a lot of supplies. So since then, I've continued to do that even when I've gotten more supplies, because it really just inspired me, and I love making my own cards. So, you know, I really enjoyed making this. I like the way that layered look, and I'm adding more vellum circles, of course. I just like the way that that looks. And I added some foam to that diamond, as you guys saw. And I'm just building up this card, but I'm actually keeping it quite simple because I really love the way that it ends up looking, and I didn't want to overload the card. I'm kind of finding that balance between adding embellishment without overloading, even though, like, this is not simple in comparison to some people I've seen, but it's simple for me. And some layouts, I do want to add a ton of embellishments, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think whatever your style is what your style is. If everyone had the same project lifestyle, then it would be no fun to look at layouts. So that's just something I always also say, because I know that a lot of people are very critical of their own layouts, but it's just whatever you like and whatever you're doing for yourself. For this next card, I'm documenting going to eat some gelato, because I love me some gelato. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm Italian, but I think even if I wasn't, I'd really just love food. And that one is the salted caramel and toasted marshmallow, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before because I'm kind of obsessed with those flavors. And it's just delicious. And that little happy place one, little embellishment there, is actually from this month's kit as well, and I just layered a vellum circle behind it because I just thought it would just give it a little something something, and then I'm just adding a little staple to that. This card is pretty simple for the most part, but I just really like the way that it turned out. Like I said, I kind of loved this whole spread. Sometimes you do spreads and you just are more in love with them than general, and I think because this has all of my favorite colors, I'm like extra in love with this layout. Plus, it's my birthday layout, so I guess that's probably part of the reason too that I really liked it. It was just really fun to create this. I had that little pink label in my stash from like a past Take 10 kit, which is kind of funny. And because I keep all my embellishments together and stuff like that, and I will be showing you guys once I organize my craft area more since I moved, kind of more of the ways that I keep things as well. And that little flamingo I stamped from my stamp set, in case you didn't know. And by the time I film this, I don't know if it will be sold out or not. It might be, but if it isn't, I will leave the link to my store in the description box below, Sandra.Spitaleri.com, and you can actually still pick one of those up if there's a few left. Now, like I've said before, a lot of my stamps will be limited edition, so I don't know if or when I will be restocking certain ones, so that's just something to keep in mind. And I guess it probably just depends, but I don't know yet at this point. And then I'm just adding some journaling to that, and I just thought that little flamingo looked really cute there, and since I made that shaker pocket you guys saw before that had the flamingos in it, I figured I obviously had to add some flamingos to this side as well to kind of just bring it in. And then for this card, I knew I was going to keep it simple and just kind of add some journaling, and then I decided to pull out my old trusty trusty typewriter. I'm currently drinking coffee as we speak, so I think that because I'm drinking caffeine, I'm a little hyped. Yeah. I decided to add some journaling to this. This is a typewriter I got a while ago. Most people always ask me where I got it. I got it off of eBay quite some time ago, and it actually came from Germany, and I absolutely love it. I love that pop of like the orangey kind of yellow color that it has. And also, I love all things retro, but keep in mind if you do typing with a typewriter, it's not going to be perfect the way that it is with a computer. You're going to get some typos. Sometimes my typewriter will also add a space where I don't always want it to. It'll space it out a little bit too much. And then if I mess up, you also can't go back and fix it like you can with our computers nowadays. So something to keep in mind if you are one of those people who are kind of OCD about stuff like that. Me personally, I really don't care if I make a typo or a mistake on it. I love the way that it looks kind of retro like that, so I just leave it as is. It doesn't bother me, and I doubt that later, years down the line, if my kids look at this album, it will bother them, so I kind of just leave it as that. And I don't have kids yet, but I'm just saying, like, if they're anything like me, they're just gonna be like, okay. So, yeah. And then I punched out some tiny little circles from some gold foil sheets that I had, and I just punched them out so I could add some little gold dots to this card, just to add a little something, because I figured I had a lot of gold dots going on in my last spread, and I kind of wanted to incorporate that in my layout this way somehow. So I thought this was a great way to do it while still keeping this card fairly on the simple side. And I really love the way it actually came out. Like, it's simple, yet it's really, like, nice. And I was playing with how many I wanted to add. I kind of just added them till it felt like it looked right to me, which is generally what I do. And I also try to just commit to the decisions I'm going to make, because if not, I would just be moving around that one little circle for like another hour. So I'm just like, YOLO, just put it down, just put it down. You know, worst case scenario, I usually do end up liking it, or when you look back at your video and you're like, why didn't I just leave it there? Why did I keep moving it? That happens to me a lot, so yeah. For this next card, it's one of those grid cards that you can get in, like, I believe 100 packs that usually are for Project Life. And I will see if they still have links to these, or I got these so long ago, I'm not sure if they make them anymore. But they're just such a fun little stack of cards to have, because whenever you want to create your own card, if you want to do something different, but still have some sort of background on it with the grid, it's a really fun way to do that. And you don't end up seeing that watercolor I put on it all that much, but I just wanted to add a little splash or something. And then I had this little gold piece, which I actually had die cut from some gold sheets foil that I had created, but I didn't, like, I loved the way that it looked, like, after I die cut it out. I didn't even mean to make it like this, and I was like, wow, I totally want to use that. So I cut it out, and I wanted to use, like, I forget I keep wanting to say inverted. I don't know if that's the correct term, though. But I knew I just wanted to use this and layer it with some, like, vellum or scrapbook paper. I ended up layering the vellum, and I knew I wanted to just leave it peeking out a little bit and make it look really, like, organic in the way that it came together. So I really actually love the way this looks, and I thought it was perfect as, like, since it's my birthday spread, to kind of just add something commemorating it with my name and everything. And I used that mint vellum behind it as well, which I thought came out awesome. And it's imperfect, but perfect to me. If that's the best way I can describe it, I just really love the way that it came together. And then I had one of those little triangles from the Creative Retreat kit as well, which is from Pink Crush Studio, and I really loved the way that it looked on the last spread that I did, so I knew I wanted to add another one of those. And then all those little plus signs are from this month's kit as well that are exclusive to the kit, and I really loved those. So I knew I wanted to find a way to use them and just scatter them around on this card, because I just thought it would look cute, kind of like just very, like, you know, naturally just laying about like that. And I didn't want to add too much, but I wanted to make it like a fun card where you just, like, your eye gets drawn to it. So I think I achieved that. And I kind of went a little gold crazy, but you guys know that I love gold! So I couldn't help myself. And then for this card, I just decided to add some white on it, some white acrylic paint, just to create kind of a wash look, because it felt like it was a little too strong for me. To just tone it down, since I'm using such a large piece of it versus like a 3x4 of it. And I end up yeah, it sounded wrong. I ended up using my watercolor brush to kind of just smooth it out, because, like, I ended up using a little bit too much, so I needed to kind of, like, just smooth it out. But I ended up really liking the way that it looks, and part of me making this card does end up getting cut out. That's the part that I was talking about, that my camera just decided to, like, delete it off the memory card. But basically I just cut a little rim of that mint 3x4 card around that picture, and then I had a little faux shaker pocket I created. I don't know why I said it's faux, but basically I decided to add vellum to it so that I could add some writing as well as make it a shaker pocket, but like a more subtle shaker pocket. And then inside of it you can see I added those flamingos from my stamp set as well as glitter and some sequin hearts. And I really love the way that that looks, and then I knew I wanted to add something on top of it actually. So I decided to go with those fun glitter hearts from the Creative Retreat kit, as well as some from my own stash, the pink ones that you guys know that I love, the enamel ones. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I wasn't too fast. I will have more videos like this for you guys, as well as some other planner videos. I have really fun stuff coming up for you guys, and I totally appreciate your support, all the sweet comments I get from you guys, and the likes. And I will definitely keep them coming as long as you guys want to see them. And I just decided to add some alpha to that card that I just decided it needed. And that alpha is from the Creative Retreat kit this month as well, which I'm absolutely obsessed with, in case you didn't know. So anyway, that's it for me today, you guys. I will see you again soon, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll have pictures at the end for those of you who are new to watching my videos. Bye!